Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics. Dynabraid, the first choice for abrasive power tools today and tomorrow. And by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977.
You ever bring your vehicle to a stop and you feel the brake pedal going up and down, or even the steering wheel shimmy? Well, what is it and how do we solve that problem? Welcome to this Amsoil Tech Tip. What you probably have is a brake pedal pulsation. Now what causes it? You can actually see it here on the graphic. Matter of fact, I can demonstrate it right here. Our rotor, you could have what's called lateral runout, which means the rotor's warped. And as it's warped, it's going around. And when it goes around, it's actually touching that pad every time in the same spot. Now that's really not causing the pedal pulsation, but what that causes is disc thickness variation, DTV. What does that mean? Well, that's in and out of the rotor where it's been eaten at it. Place. It doesn't have to be lateral run out, doesn't have to be warped, but it goes in and out. So when it goes in and out, those pads are squeezing and you're feeling that come back into the actual pedal. Now, how do we check for that? Well, it's real simple. You can get a dial indicator. We just secured the hub to the rotor. Once we did that, we put a dial indicator on it, spun it around. Manufacturers usually don't want more than about 0.003. Disc thickness variation, you can take a micrometer and go in 8 places around that rotor. You don't want more than 0.005 thousandths. That's going to cause pedal pulsation. Now once that happens, Len, I got to either cut the rotors or throw them out. That's costly. How can we avoid it?
Well, you want to start by making sure that there's no rust on anything. So if you've got issues with your hub, get a good look at it. If you need to clean some rust off there, you go ahead and wire brush that right off there. Make sure you hit it. A little brake clean, clean anything off there. Make sure your surfaces are flat.
Yeah, and that's a new term out there called stack tolerances. We want to make sure that's on there and on there right. Another thing, no place for gunplay, putting on wheels. Do not use an impact. Use your torque wrench or torque sticks to put it on. Now, Len, these rotors, they come out. Once we're done with that job, we want to make sure they're clean. This one actually came from the factory, and you can see this stuff. There's a coating on there. You guys got a product that takes care of that and so much more.
Yep, you want to make sure that you clean that off really well. You want some good pressure in the can, real good solvent product that dries real quickly. So you just go ahead and hit that.
Man, look at that.
Clean it right off there. We got a little all over,
yep.
And it'll clean that right off real nicely.
Did that in no time. So check them out on the website at amsoil.com. Make sure you get you some brake clean and check out all their cool products.
Hanging out with Justin Smith from Shock Therapy. You know, you may look at one of their vehicles like this, or maybe a race vehicle they work on, and say, well, I don't do anything crazy like that. I'm just a rider on the weekends with my friends. I just want to go on the trails. So how can you help me at Shock Therapy do what I need to do in maybe my stock or stock-ish UTV?
You know, a lot of people do feel that way when it comes to what we do because of the racing and the big builds that you see like this behind us. But the truth is that we use those things to test all of our components and all of our product designs so that we know that they're going to function for you, the everyday rider. 90% of what we do is the day-to-day use, slower, more comfortable, trail riding, guys out with the group and their family.
And you guys at Shock Therapy are big into R&D. You want to make sure all this stuff's going to work. How is racing and how is high performance stuff? How does that all work into what you do just for regular folks on UTVs?
Obviously, the racers are going to push everything to the limit. They're going to find the weak spots. They're going to break every part on the vehicle. And we do a lot of racing ourselves, just strictly to test components. So that environment gives us the best area to find out if our parts are strong enough to live. We know exactly when things will fail and how hard you have to drive it to do that. And we translate and give that information to our customers so that they understand, well, they're not going to go that fast. You don't need these extra things. Or they're going to go a little bit quicker because their buddies are fast and they're always in competition with each other on the trail. Then, okay, you do need these extra things because we know when you drive it that hard what you're going to expect. That ability to understand the level at which people need to go and where they may not have to go is invaluable, and that's what we use racing for.
There are other places to get suspension and to get tuning for your vehicle suspension. Why should they choose Shock Therapy?
There's a few things that set us apart from anybody else in the industry. One, we're enthusiasts, as we've talked about before. We eat, live, and breathe this stuff. We're learning, we're adapting, we're improving every single day. Having all of the manufacturing in-house and design work and engineering in-house allows us to give the best possible component to our customer that could ever be built. It's a goal of ours to make sure that no one could ever improve upon anything that we've ever designed. And that allows our customers to know, and what we want them to know, that anything that we design, anything that you purchase from us is the best part you could ever buy.
Believe me, these guys aren't just talk, these guys get it done. Shock Therapy is the destination when you're talking about tuning for the suspension on your UTV. You can find them at shocktherapyusa.com. And we had a great time this week visiting our friends, Justin and all the folks at Shock Therapy. We're going to do some more Motorhead Garage next week, so do not miss that show. In the meantime, if you have any comments or if you've got a product you want to see on our show, email me, dave@motorheadgarage.tv, and maybe we'll get you right here in our studio. From our entire crew and for all the folks at Shock Therapy, we'll see you next time on Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com.